Hello, I am Dr. Jennifer Casey, and I am excited to share with you today about what the Grit, Grace, and Gratitude Blueprint, a guided journey to lasting balance. I'm looking back and forth so I don't miss anything. This is my course that I offer several times a year. I am excited that we're going to launch it October 1st for the first time. A cohort of 10 women are going to partake. I'm super excited. It's a unique blend for me. My idea behind it is the fact that we're going to meet once a week, but we're not going to meet like at a certain time. We're not going to meet live. We can meet if the cohort of 10 say, okay, Tuesday mornings at 9 we want to meet. I can't do that because I have to work, right? But that's the beauty in this. Every week on Mondays, I'm going to send a video, send a topic, send some learning information, right? And then we will revisit that information Wednesday and Friday. So it's going to be a combination of, okay, here's some videos, here's some information, and we're going to do some check-ins via groups, via messaging Wednesday and Friday, some email check-ins, some accountability check-ins, like, okay, this is what we're working on, this is what we're supposed to do, how did it go? So that it really provides those three pieces, because I have taken courses before and I just I'm like, whatever, right? If it's not live. And the hard part about live courses is we all have a life and we're all in different time zones. So it's the beauty of the combination of both. Each person within the 10 cohorts will be able to meet with me one-on-one for one 1-hour session via Zoom, just to either start or wrap up or whenever works for you as we build your blueprint. Some individualized coaching around that, any aspects of it, the mental performance, what individuality do you need for your blueprint? And then I'm really hoping the group says, yeah, we want to meet as a group live at this time once or twice throughout the 4 weeks. So it's a combination, right, of those modalities so that you can intake the information and use it and start to put it into use. And in my mind, October is a great time. It's the end of our rodeo season for me personally. In the Northwest, it's the end of high school rodeo season. So moms, right, and the start of fall, winter sports, right, end of fall, start of winter sports. We're going in from fall to winter. What a great time to put some things into place before January 1 hits, because I really find when January 1 hits, it's a hard time to do that. So the pieces, so these are the topics we're going to have to look over here. So in week 1 is called pouring the foundation. So why are you here? Like, what's your why? And people are like, whatever. But our why is so important. We go back to it all of the time. What are your values, right? I was having a conversation the other day, and I was mentioning something. I'm like, this just didn't feel great. Like, that interaction just didn't feel great, right? And normally I'd be like, oh, that person is, or, make some assumptions or interpretation around it. I'm like, that person like, oh, that's a values rub. That's probably a values rub for you. And I'm like, yeah. So when it is a values rub, it's so much easier. Like, I don't take it personally, and I am able to be non-judgmental about the situation and not judge myself, right? Because that's what I do, is judge myself for not being able to, quote unquote, get along or like that person or that situation or whatever it may be. So why? Values, mission, statement, like, what do you want to do? Why are you spinning out? Why do you feel stuck? Why are you going, but getting nothing done? It starts with that. Week 2 is, I'm calling it the structural integrity check, right? So like, okay, physically, structurally in this, like, what is your body able to do, right? What is your mobility? What is your movement like? What is your balance like? What, like, physically, because in my mind it starts physically. For us, our horses, our animals, anything we do, right? Movement is key in so many levels. So what does that look like for you? What would you like it to look like? In order for your ideal, what would that be? Well, how realistic is that? Like, I want a bike, like a stationary bike for in the winter for my house. I haven't done it yet. Right? So like, okay, so what is so in that example, what is my block? Why haven't I went and gotten a stationary bike and put it in my house yet? Why? So things like that, right? Why haven't you done whatever it is? Because lots of us kind of know what we need to do or work on, and maybe you don't, and that's cool. We can figure that out. Individuality, right? Week 3 is called setting the rhythm. So in my world, our nervous system drives everything. Our brain drives everything, right? And we either can be in that state of flow, rest, digest, move, things are going like a river, right? Things are just moving nicely like a river or a creek, or, or it can be glacier and or it can be stagnant. So what are the things that we can do daily? What are some practices? What are the mental blocks around that, right? Of why we aren't doing the things. And then what are those things? Is it important that I get up every morning and stretch? Is it important that I see the sunlight? And how does that look? And that's where movement comes in. What types of movement? And week 4 is like the final blueprint reveal. Like we put it all together. So we've worked for 3 weeks here together as individuals and as groups, right, with our blueprint. And starting November 1st, what's that going to look like for me, right? How do I put that into practice? Okay, do I need to go get a pair of running shoes? Like, do I need to go get a pair of another, would it be able to exercise, right? Not that I go to the gym, but like if I had a pair of shoes that were dedicated to walking outside in the all weather, right? Like all weather types of shoes, would I be able to just put those on and go? And if they were set by the door, would that be more important? Like, would I just be able to, less friction, just do it? So what are those key things, right? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What does that look like for you? So it's about building this whole process with balance and putting it together for you. So if you're interested, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. And I'm excited to share this with you guys.